if you do that, then you are a fool following another fool.
Well, I'm going to buy the stock, and then I'm going to have a space call and blame you when I lose on it. How about
That's fine. I don't care about that. So
that?
Can you do that with a southern accent when you do that, please?
I'm absolutely okay with that.
Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
You cannot blame somebody for your own foolish decision, regardless of how you spin it. No, it is what it is.
I think I had a pretty legitimate argument on that one, but I think she just wanted to fight.
Which one were you talking about?
The previous conversation on that.
Oh yeah, where certain people lead other people to certain things.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I understand. Like, I understand where she's coming from in a way, not particular to your situation, but particular to people who are like actively. And I've said this before on our Tuesday night calls, where someone brings up a stock, and I'm like, hey, the purpose of this is not to sell it. Right. The purpose of this call that we're doing here is to just put out some information and let people make their own decision. And that's what I did a long, long time ago with TTOO. And I said I was actively purchasing it. I thought that it had potential. And at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cents a share, I thought that it was a good bargain. Now, in retrospect, I was a stock market genius.
Yeah, I don't think even doing that, like discussing DD on a stock with 26 people on a space call, I don't think that's going to bring in the volume that's actually going to pump the stock anyways. So
Not at all.
that's why I was sort of trying to debunk
How many?
her.
What do we have here? We have 20 now.
So if all these
Even if
20
we all
people...
bought 1,000,000 shares, it wouldn't make a difference tomorrow. So
Exactly. So that's why I was sort of trying to debunk what she was trying to say.
unless, of course, we all bought 1,000,000 alt shares and then, or CDU, and then that would be a different story, because that would be like 1/3 of the float, and that would then doesn't necessarily be, or that would definitely be stock market manipulation, and the SEC would be calling me. Well, actually, they wouldn't be calling me; they would be calling someone who represents me. But LOL. But I would have already cashed out, so it wouldn't have made a difference. If those are just jokes, man, you guys gotta lighten up. Those are my two baggers right now. I'm holding giant bags on those. Cat brags me about it all the time, but we'll laugh about them in the late winter. That's what I think. But we move on to something else. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a link up in the chat, up in the bubble chat, or in the bubble chat, and it says we're streaming. Go check out that link. Tell me what you think.
I'm afraid to go to the link, because as soon as I go to the nest, I cannot undo the nest, and then I can't see who's watching.
Well, go to the bubble chat then.
All right.
It's like, because we don't have a lot of comments yet. We're getting there.
Okay, I see it. All right, hold on. Let me retweet it.
Hold on, don't retweet it, because I don't care if anyone watches it, but I wanted you to see this the loading screen, because we're not finished yet. This is rough.
Hey Cap, how did you do that? Did you actually stream it like live to YouTube?
Well, yeah, because I stream it through OBS, which is open source.
I think it's streaming right now. I think it's working.
Did you take the IP for Lomo on the streaming side?
Okay, so
You're in bed with Ted.
Okay,
You're in bed with Ted.
Wait a minute. No, we're going back to that, because I did hear someone told me through a DM on that, because that's what brought me to that space. Was that did you say that if you knew the right lawyers that you could get it for 2,500? What's behind that?
Because it's not worth anything.
Hold on, we can buy Lomo for $2,500. Is that what you said?
I said you could if you got the right lawyers in Singapore, you could get it for $2,500 if you hired them. I'm pretty sure it's free.
I think huh. See, now there's an idea. If we just pay the lien on the office rent.
Well, no, you need the IP.
No, exactly. But if they have now acquired the IP for the lien on the office space, we could buy that from them if they've actually officially acquired it. But I don't know how they can do that when it's It's an American company, right? Like they don't like the Singapore branch does not own 100% of Lomo.
I'm pretty sure they just left it to go to shit, though, did they not?
Who's they?
Paul Yang?
I don't know. I don't know. But
Well,
if we could buy that 25% or the 20% for $2,500,
Yeah, I don't.
then we have some leverage. Not only are we shareholders now they're our partners.
Yeah, I think who posted those court paperwork like from
I
when
would
they
I
went?
would I would love for us to sue me and me be suing me also and see how that works.
I bet you could spend a few $1,000 and I don't know what's left. Like, what's left of it? Is there a whole bunch of debt, liens?
I don't know. I would have to I, I'll put somebody on it tomorrow and see what they say. I'm sure there's a bunch of debt that goes with it with servers and
Well,
because I'm sure they didn't pay the server companies. But Cap's got
Cap's
the
already
inside
stolen
on
the
it, so
mapping for the streaming. Obviously, that's why we're on YouTube right now.
100%. You're right. I got all the IP of open sourced some product, the same stuff that Lomo probably used as well.
well then if you're all on that, Cap, you just send me what I owe and I'll be your partner. We'll see
No,
how it works.
speaking of which, what do you think of this loading screen? I think it came out. I think it looks all right. I think it's
Mine didn't
good enough
load
for
up.
government.
Mine didn't load up on the telephone.
Oh my goodness, it's not showing you the stream right now, or
Well,
It's
it comes
glitching.
YouTube pops up and then it has three ducks standing there and it says starting soon.
yeah.
We're working on things. Come back in a few minutes.
No, but that's like that's the
That's what
start
Lomo says.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. What do you think of that? What do you think of that screen? Do you like it?
No,
Do you hate it? What
no,
are some ideas?
I like what you like. I would prefer like a pirate flag in the background. I think that'd be cool. We have to stick to the pirate theme. Everyone likes pirates.
All right, are you watching this
Everyone
though?
loves pirates.
Are you watching the stream?
No, it says starting soon on mine.
No, I know, but so that means you're watching the stream. Oh, damn it. That was way too. Oh, man. Oh, I just screwed it all up. Sorry about that, gang. Never mind. I'll work out that detail and I'll get back to you.
So when I clicked on it, everything went silent with you, obviously, because it tried to click on YouTube, and then I couldn't hear what you just said.
No, it's all good. No, I was gonna show. It was more of a visual show, anyways. I didn't need you to click on it, but it's all good. Let's get back to the mission at hand. We
I like the ducks. I just want a pirate flag.
This is actually pretty cool. I think Gemini would probably value this at like at least $6 million.
at least 6 million. That's
And
what
then
I'm saying.
you could sell it to Zash for 100 million.
Let's
Well, I
go.
said, yeah, get back to me when you're talking about 200 million, and then we'll talk about it. Other than that, we're just
Well,
going to
Zash
continue
doesn't
to
care because
freelance
they won't
this,
have to
dude.
pay for it anyways.
Yeah, but the problem is that Mark
Well,
has
they'll
got a
pay. It'll just be with other people's money.
well, and the problem is Mark's got a lot to deal with Sea-Doo right now because Sea-Doo isn't calling him for their days off, and so he's a little pissed
Not
right now.
yet. Not yet, but they will be. They will be. I'm gonna end up being on that board soon. Oh, I wonder if they listen to this stuff and they're like, "What is this dude talking about?"
Oh no, 100% no. They listen to it after the fact, and then they go, "Oh fuck, we should have saw this coming."
Yeah, how does that dude own 11 million shares? What happened? And he bought 20% of our company for $200,000, and this crazy dude in Missouri, and he doesn't know shit about shit, and now we're fucked. Well, that'll be comical. How do you how
And
do you
now,
explain to the SEC that you didn't file the appropriate forms because you just bought 20% of a company on Weeble? Right, because you're supposed to
true
file paperwork and
story.
yeah, you're supposed to file paperwork and stuff, right? And they're like, no, Weeble just kept selling me shares, so now I own 20% of you guys, and I need my fucking money.
Dude, this is why I keep saying this is what it's about, right? It's about we know you're selling us too many shares. Okay, keep selling it to us.
Yep, I'll
Yeah,
keep buying at a nickel a piece. I'll keep buying them. Whatever.
right.
You're launching satellites and shit, right? Allegedly. If you're not allegedly doing it, you better cut me in on the fucking scam, or else I'm going to spill the beans. Because I'm not BlackRock. I'm not going to shut up. And you're not going to send a bunch of goons to my house because that's poppycock. But no. And then how does Weeble sell that many shares to one person? Very odd. Very odd.
Very right.
Yeah.
How does we how and they have never said anything to you either, right? They've never said like,
No
"Pardon
one,
me,
no
sir."
one, no one in any stock I owned, other than one time someone called me to borrow my shares. No one has ever contacted me about anything that I purchased on Webull, other than them selling my contact information to J.P. Morgan. And this lady calls me from J.P. Morgan. I'm like, I fucking hate your guts. I hope you guys die. And she was like, well, that's rude. And I'm like, well, did you not know who you called? You called a rude dude. Did you expect that a rude person would all of a sudden be nice because you cold called them on a fucking Tuesday afternoon right before lunch? And I'm hanging fucking drywall? No. She's like, well, I don't deserve that. I said, well, I never asked you to call me. So I'm sorry that you put yourself through this, but that's how life goes. These are hard lessons in life, and sometimes we have to learn them the hard way. And that was it. JP Morgan never called me again. Luckily. They put me on the do not call list. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
This is what happens when Tristan Jerry lets in 7 goals.
Oh my God. I didn't even watch that game the other night. I just shut it off after they were losing 2-0. I'm like, this is a loser eater. I can
Oh,
see it.
it was a disaster.
Yeah, I shut it down. They're a little tired. It was a long road trip, but that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse for playing poorly like that. They should have put in Nedeljkovic anyway.
Yeah,
And
they'll pull it off though. They'll pull it off. They do every year.
yep, we'll see what happens. It
They'll
is
go
what it
one
is.
round, 2 rounds.
Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it is. It is what it is, and that's what happens when you're a
Sid's
Penguin fan and you get frustrated. Then you just yell at the J.P. Morgan people.
Sid's on pace for 50.
What's that?
Sid's on pace for 50.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's doing well. Lots of guys are doing well. They just can't pull it all together. They can't get many points on the power play. They're struggling. This is hockey talk. If you guys aren't familiar with the hockey, I'm a Penguin fan. Lauren's just riding me because the Penguins are struggling right now, but they do it every year. Every year they run together 8 wins. They get themselves right back in the playoff hunt. And if they're not in first place or second place, then they squeak into the playoffs. This is what happens when they string those 8 wins together. Doesn't matter anyway. I'll be on vacation, so.
Yeah.
So, anyone else have anything they're watching this week other than W Tech telling us about NVOS again? We know NVOS. We're watching it. I bought some. I have it.
Dude, I did want to point out one thing, right? We talked about Hood earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And you shut that conversation down when Young Serfdom was trying to talk about Hood, and they had a killer run.
So it's not that I'm doubting the play.
I know you hate the company.
I just don't want to participate in that. Just like I don't participate in many, many Chinese companies. I don't want to aid and abet their nonsense. That's just me. So
Well, then have you heard of a company called ALPP? No, I'm just kidding. Bugs,
I
what's
have.
going on tonight?
I was wondering if anyone named Surf could come up and tell us about ALPP.
Or just talk to us generally. Surf's a good guy. What's going on, Pugsy?
Jump on a space call. It's always a good time here. How many Red Bulls have you consumed today?
Me?
Just yeah, you guys. I mean, you guys are still going at it, but that's hardcore.
No,
Um,
I had a bottle of mead and 11 beers.
The sugar
oh
and
wow.
Red Bull is terrible for your teeth.
Exactly. And
Stay away
I
from that.
participate in good teethiness, so I don't want to
Pugsy,
get the scurvy.
Pugsy, we could have used you about half an hour ago in Soup's call. It was a little bit of a Royal Rumble.
Oh, it's Soups was here. It's um. Well, I'm not too
Soups was on
experienced.
captain's call last night. I
Soup,
told him
Oh
Soups
yeah.
that Mr. Rick's going to be mad, but he brought him up
Oh,
anyway.
Soups and
That's
Puzzled
right. That's
Raccoon had a
exactly how it
BBIG
happened.
call.
Hey, did you like how I was like, "You're not pinning all of this on Mark"?
You did. You stuck up for me. I was the one that brought him up. I took the blame for it. Whatever. Mr. Rick, he gets mad at me, but he's only mad at me for like a day, and then I'll shoot him a picture of me in my coveralls hanging drywall, and then he comes around because he realizes I'm just a regular. Like I go to work because I want to go to work with my brother-in-law, not because I have to. So
He
he
gave us
understands
praise.
that. Yeah, he
He
did.
gave us praise later on the day when he was like, "Jesus, those two. I don't think they'll ever be interrogated because they'll probably interrogate the interrogators."
Yeah,
Might be right.
I was just waiting on the fringe of him getting ridiculous like he does. And like, I want to see how this plays out. And you know what? You shot him down right away. You stumped him with the Tesla stuff, and then left him with like, so what do you do? And he was just kind of doing that hemming and hawing that he does, and like clicking on that fucking 1918 typewriter that he uses for a keyboard. And then, and, and then Rick woke up, and that was freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
But
that was immediate, huh? That was pretty crazy. I'm like, what just happened? Yeah,
that,
he immediately booed him. It was very funny. It was at the time. It
I
was.
don't think Rick missed all the context up to that, but you guys were totally trolling him without like being up in his face about it.
Even Captain was like, "Mark, don't play in, don't play in," and I was playing in to the point where I I was luring him in to the point where, well, what is our option,
Right.
right? As BBIG investors, is our option to do nothing, and that's what you want? Well, then you're one of the bad guys, right?
I put
So,
that I put that stinking horse in the pizza parlor back in the body of
dude,
this.
that was an awesome meme. I showed that to my wife. She's like, "Oh God, Mark." I said, "Serfdom sent me this meme of this guy making pizzas on the floor of a pizza parlor, and there's a horse laying up on the counter, right next to the pizza oven, and he's up where all the food's supposed to be being made, and he and the flames going in the oven and stuff like that. And he's like, "This is when Mark takes over the space call." It's pretty
uh,
funny. You should put that in the nest. It was very funny. And I
let's
showed
see.
that to my wife.
Let's
She's
see.
like, "What? So you're not very good at space calls, Mark?" I said, "No, sometimes they just I'm good. I'm okay with them, but sometimes they just get off the rails."
Yeah, it started taking its own direction there for a little bit. I mean, and it wasn't like, I mean, we're just up at four. I think it was just like five of us on the call at like at my time it was 4 in the morning.
No, there was
So
18 people on the call.
was there? Were they
18.
all
Don't sell me
asleep?
short. Don't sell me short.
Were
Well,
they
Jake was
all asleep? I
definitely
know Jake was
Jake was
asleep.
definitely asleep, and Mr. Rick was definitely asleep. But I don't know about anyone else.
Yeah, Jake, you could hear Jake snoring.
Yeah, no, it was quite amusing. Captain actually sent me a DM. Mute Jake's mic. I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
was on
very
the call.
relaxing. Anyway, you were on the call under a burner.
Yeah, I
Lauren,
was
you
at
don't have to be on a burner on my call.
I know, but I was already committed from 2 hours earlier. I was on those calls yesterday. Like when that space call started at 6:30 in the morning, I actually went right till about 2 a.m. my time. So I probably did like 19 hours out of the 24, and then jumped on the new one today. So I put a lot of time in the last couple days listening. It was great.
No, it was good fun. We learned a lot about each other, and we listened to the stories and stuff, and we raised money for the cause. And yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't like anyone came in and said anything groundbreaking, or earth shattering that was going to crack the case or whatever. But
It
it, it's
definitely it
it's
definitely
nice for
woke
camaraderie.
it definitely woke a lot of the shills up because now they're doing calls.
Oh, obviously, no one was doing a BBI. None of the shows were doing a BBIG call 2 weeks ago.
No.
A week ago, no, the thing was dead, and then we brought it back to life. So now they have something else to talk about. They should be thanking us. They should actually came on the call and said, "Hey, thank you guys for running this call, which will give us a new thing to talk about, and then we can fire up 10 more space calls this week, and then talk about this, talk about how ridiculous you guys are." And we're like, "Yeah, you're welcome. All right, just say thanks and move on." No,
Have you guys heard of this company?
which one
I'm just messing with you. My bags.
was it? ALPP?
It's yeah. So I gave this company like a substantial loan.
Yes, it's very frustrating, isn't it?
Uh no, the only thing I still have eyes on is that put position on C4.
Or is ALPP at 80 cents yet?
Oh no, dude, we're way below that now. Let me
You're way
see.
below 80.
Yeah, they hyper shorted that thing last week. Let me see. It would surprise
No,
me.
I think I had a fill order in at 72.
Well, it probably filled, or they skipped over you. Yeah, it hit 69
Yeah, it
cents
filled.
last week.
I'm I'm now a proud shareholder.
Sweet. Well, we'll see what the hell they do.
I think it was pre-market on Thursday or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it just rolled in. Everything else in the market's running, but most of everything I have running right now is a little red. I got a lot of action. What was that, Thursday? After the Fed talks, all my positions filled except for my put position on CCCC. But I don't know. This thing's running a head and shoulder, volumes dying. I think their run on that is done.
Which one? CCCC?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's a biomed. It'll wear out for a while. They'll short it back down. then
I
buy it
get.
low, and then you can wait till it pumps again. Then you can sell it off.
Yeah, let's add the Head and Shoulders on this one.
It might take about 4 months for them to get some kind of other. That's the thing with the medical information stuff is the medical stocks. You have to wait till after they put something out, and they either go to the moon and you miss your shot, or they shoot up and then they come back down, and then typically they go below where they were before, and then they'll jump back up another 8 or 9%, and then they'll consolidate in that area for another 4 months. When
Yeah,
it's
it's
companies doing the drug trials.
well, and it was just an announcement on a partnership, and there was some money allocation and some stuff in the material event that they announced, but they haven't started doing business yet. So until you see these partnerships start working and see what actually plays out, I think it's pretty thin news. Although it's exciting, I can be excited for these guys if they bought in at $1 a week ago, but running up to almost $8.35 on a partnership news is seems a little thin in
Yeah,
my
it's pretty
opinion.
substantial though. You know
Yeah, it's good
what?
news. I might take a long position in it once it pulls back,
I think
honestly.
did I tell you guys in the chat that so I like CLNN. I like that one in the 36 to 38 cent range if you can get it there. Anything below 40 is probably a bargain, because the next time that they come out with some kind of news, if you can accumulate a little at a time when it's down at like 35 or 36 or 37 or whatever it is, and then accumulate a little bit at a time, and then when they come out with their next um, drug trial PR, it'll pump up to like say 55 or 65 or 75 cents, and then you can dump it and you just wait till it comes back down again. And then you have to watch. There's a difference between like phase one and phase three. When it comes to phase three and they're getting ready to try and get it FDA approved, some of these drugs that you have to weigh your options on the phase three and the phase four type stuff. You have to see what the actual medical jargon is, if it was successful, if it was pertinent information, if they're seeking FDA approval. But CLNN has been a cash cow for me before. I remember I was on vacation once. I was and this is like a couple of years ago when this stock first became semi popular. Um, where it was like 50 cents or 60 cents or something like that, and it shot all the way up to $11. So I'm sitting there on like I don't know, 6,500 shares at like 50 or 60 cents a piece, and I'm on vacation. It shoots up to $11. I mean, how ridiculous is that? So of course I sell it all, except for a small portion, and then immediately within a couple of days it drops right back down. $6, $7 or whatever, comes back down. You can buy it for 40 cents for 100 shares now, or $40 for 100 shares.
I am watching your Wheeler.
Yeah, if it goes below 30, it's probably a decent buy.
Yeah, it looks like a nice choppy spot to maybe buy a few shares.
If you want to flip them, I'm like I said, I'm not telling anyone to do this for a long term investment, but Wheeler is a pretty decent flip if you can get it at a good price. Don't buy at the top, Captain.
Am I known for that?
Well, that's what we do. We buy at the top and then we sell at the bottom, which sucks
That's true.
for.
Yeah.
It's good for taxes, though.
It is. If you do your taxes, it's very good for them.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no. Wheeler is, if you play it right. It's an easy way to make some money. And even that crazy one that I said a couple weeks ago, AULT, um, it hit 1060
Yep.
0.1060 on Friday morning. I was asleep, And then I was like, woke up and I'm like, oh, it's kind of running a bit. And then I went and got a shower and came back and it had already run its course, and then started to fall back down. So I didn't get any play on that dude. But my average on that thing now is, uh, I think point 0.0944.
Have
So
you
it's what
guys
doesn't seem like a lot of money, but if you're making a penny a share on 200,000 shares or a penny a share on 50,000 shares, that's still money. And then
that's
if you
good
can buy
little
that
chunk.
stock back the next day or that afternoon, I mean, there's no reason not to take advantage of that stuff.
Have you ever considered buying like S&P 500?
Uh, it,
That'd make too much sense, right?
well, I don't. That's what everyone does, and I don't like to do what everyone does.
Right. And what do you think about this? Like pre-market's opening up hot from what I could see. Probably a nice another rally week.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what
I
happens.
have to. I judge on the 30 minute is what I judge on. You know, I make these picks that I pick, and like Coombs asked me many a times. I just pick them. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know how that I pick them. I just pick them. That's what I do. We'll see what happens. And then I play them out. They all go up. They all go down. If you can try and get in at the right spot, then you can make money on it. If you don't get in at the right spot, then you eat it. And then you have to sit on it for a while. You just can't be mad when you have to sit on something for a long time. Like I'm sitting on literally thousands of shares of Sea-Doo, but I'm going to sit on them. And then one day it'll go to 38 cents or whatever it is in the spring, right before they do their reverse split or whatever the case they're going to do, and have some kind of PR. And then I'll sell all my shares probably. And then it'll crash back down and I'll buy twice as many back again because I believe that that's a company that is ripe for a buyout. And then instead of having 10 million shares, I'll have 20 million shares. And like I said, then the SEC will have to call me and I'll have to fill out forms or something. They'll take them back. I don't know. I don't even know what they do when you break the rules. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be an experiment. And when they call me and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. Who's this?" You know,
His his
I'll
name
play
is
dumb.
his name is MDS,
Yeah, I'll play dumb. That's what I'll do.
but he's knocking on your door.
No, I'll just play dumb. And they'll be like, "Are you serious, dude?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm serious. I was just buying these shares. That's it. I didn't know I had to fill out these forms." And then they're like, "Yeah, well, we have you recorded on the space call saying the absolute opposite
I
of
was
what you
I was just
told
about to
us."
say that.
And then I'm like, "Well, that wasn't me. That was someone that sounds like me."
Well, no, you can say I'm not a lawyer, so I really don't know. I
Yes.
just know that I can buy this. What? Weeble
If
shouldn't Weeble tell me, hey, we've sold you a lot of this stock. Maybe you should send out a you should alert everybody.
yeah, guys could have shot me an email, right?
The
You guys could have shot me an email saying that this is frowned upon.
You make
slide.
three trades. You make three trades within 3 days when you have less than 25. Man, they let you know right away every step of the way. But they can't tell you when you bought 20% of a company that you didn't really intend to buy 20% of. Are you kidding?
Absolutely, that's the way they do it.
Board of directors.
Yeah. No, we'll see. Like I said, Captain said that told Captain they're gonna be calling me for vacation days soon.
Dude,
I
if
don't know
we
how
go
many.
much lower, they're going to be calling me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mark, when did you end up? When did you start buying do?
See, I started buying Sea-Doo at like 11 cents a share, so I'm in the red on it, but I don't I'm not worried about it. I feel
Hold
like
on.
it's ripe for a buyout.
You bought it at 11 cents a share?
Yeah, I've been continuing to buy it from 11 cents a share. Yes.
Oh, okay, from 11 cents a share.
Yeah, yeah. So like my average is now, I don't know, 0.0688 or something like that.
Yeah, you're in good shape.
Oh, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. I think that someone's going to buy the company. That's what I feel like. I feel like someone's going to buy the company because it's a good deal, and they'll just buy it all out for say 40 cents a share or something like that, and then I'll make, I don't know, 6x, 5 or 6x my money, and I'll walk away after I approve everyone's vacation days. Or they realize I violated SEC rules, and then they have to buy them from me because I own too much of the company. That would be humorous.
Yeah,
Kinda.
they've been bailed out by the Canadian government a few times, haven't they? Like once in 2017 and once in like 14.
Sea-Doo?
Bombardier.
No, I'm talking about SIDU. It's a
Oh,
satellite
I thought you
company.
meant Bombardier.
No. We're talking about SIDU, Sea-Doo,
I'm like,
which
when the
is
fuck has Bombardier been at 11 cents? I'm like, you must have
no,
been buying it in the
we were
80s.
talking about Sea-Doo, which is a satellite company.
Okay.
No, I know who makes Sea-Doos. You're right, but no, I'm not in that company.
That company's way too blue chip for you to buy.
I have blue chippers. I do. I have
This is
Aflac and
actually this is actually a good topic I wanted to get into, Mark, because I heard you on a call last night, I believe, before I was on it, and you were saying that for every so much of something that you
yes,
buy, you also put it in some into like boomer intrinsic
boomer
value
stocks.
stocks as well.
Boomer stocks. Yes. Yeah.
I think you said Coke and C's, like you're like
So I spread it out because those are companies that don't ever lose that much money. You know, they consistently go up and up. Typically, I do the defense ones, which is like Boeing and Lockheed Martin and um, General Dynamics and General Electric, Raytheon. So if I buy $50 worth of a risky stock, then I'll put $50 into something else that I know has very minimal risk. And that way, you know that when you have like $100,000 in your investment account, that it's not worth like $8,000. You know, and those stocks sometimes they dip down and sometimes they go up. But if you look at them over the past 10 years, they steadily climb up, and that's what they do. They just continue to climb. They have dips and valleys and peaks, but they continuously climb up. If you took $10,000 and 10 years ago you put it in all defense stocks, your $10,000 would be worth 30, 40, 50,000 bucks right now. It's just that simple. And you didn't have to do anything. You put the money in the bank or in your account, and then you walked away from it.
Well,
And
the
you were,
only thing that you had to do is not invest in BBIG, so you kept the money.
well, I don't want to beat a dead horse, you know. It is what it is. We have another investment with that one, you know. So, and I don't want to tell anyone how to invest, but I mean, it's best to, you know, it's like if you're going grocery shopping, you don't just buy the stuff you want. If you have a family, you buy the stuff a little bit of what your wife likes and a little bit of what your kids like, and hopefully you get most of what you want when you do that. So that's the way I look at it, like grocery shopping.
Are we
I
on the
want the
kids list?
yeah, you guys are all the kids. I want the risky stuff, and my wife wants the good stuff. So, but sometimes the risky stuff pays off. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. You know.
Yeah,
Some
I'm watching alt as well. I like how that looks for a
yeah.
nice little recovery bounce.
We'll see what happens. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I just pretend to be lucky. That's it. I think I've said that a million times. And if anyone who says that I'm giving some kind of financial advice, then you're a moron for following the guy who claims that he's lucky. And that's just what I do. It's just luck. That's all it is, luck.
Yeah, I don't trust Todd Alt only because he's hanging out with all the Vinco people.
Well, that's why I trust them, because they're pumpers.
Well, you might want to take a short position then, not financial advice.
It's already shorted. It never had its pump. That's what I'm playing on. That they'll have their pump soon.
Well, just
On
put a trailing stop loss.
Captain's YouTube's got a banner, not financial advice, right across the face of it.
No,
It looks good.
I would never take financial advice from someone named Captain Wicked. That's just crazy. I would never take financial advice from someone named Miggy Cabs. You need to listen to what people say and then make your own decisions and say, well, those dudes are idiots. They sure are funny, but they're morons. I'm not going to invest my money where they say to invest it. But
that's the whole point, you know. Sometimes it's kind of fun.
well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's fun being me. That's for sure. But I'm just lucky. That's it. Not everyone's as lucky as me. You got to get in at the right time, at the right day, pre-market, after-market, middle of the day, whatever it is. You have to get in at the right time, and then you have to be able to say, well, I've made enough, and get out. And these are all very difficult decisions that aren't like, you can't consult people, you know.
How much downside wiggle room do you like to give yourself? 10%, 20%? Where where your where's your mind with your margins for potential risk?
Oh, I ride everything to the dirt if I have to, but
I was gonna
um,
say, so just
go ahead.
like because we're on the non-financial advice with
Yes.
attitudes profile. Could you read the bio for everybody, just so you know? Just
I can't really read right now, to be honest with you.
okay. Well, I'll tell you what it says. Uh,
Captain, read the bio for us,
it
please, sir.
says it says not financial advice with attitude, straight out of ducks to give. Space Coast for horribly bad financial advice from degens with very high risk tolerances.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and we give the warning.
1 to 100. I just stepped out for a cigarette, so sorry I couldn't read that for you.
So I didn't know if you didn't hear that or not, but very high risk tolerances.
Yes.
So if you paid $1, then very high risk to some people is different than others. To me, it's nothing. If my dollar is now worth nothing, then it's worth nothing, and
I wrote
I'll rethink my plan.
I rode I rode BBBYQ all the way into the ground, and I'll tell you, if I had a chance, my only wrong decision in that play was not buying more at 8 cents.
Ride it into the ground again, because it would have been more pressure on your back. It would have been awesome.
Well, bro, I bought it at 8 cents. It popped up to 20 cents. No, it popped up to 30 cents. So I sold some and kept some. So I would have made more and and kept more.
Yeah, sometimes you have to take chances, and I mean, it is what it is, you know. It sucks when you lose money. Not It's not fun. I mean, but the whole point of what lots of people say is, when they say you shouldn't invest more than you can afford to lose, you should not invest more than you can afford to lose. That's good advice, right? And if you're investing for the future and you're having some risk plays, you should also have, if you're going to spend $50 on Tuesday, 25 of it can go to risk, or all 50 of it can go to solid plays. You could just buy, I don't know, however much Coca-Cola you can get for $50, because Coca-Cola is a solid stock. Pepsi's a solid stock. No one's going to stop buying that crap. People are
What
always
the
buying. Go ahead.
what's that ticker that MDS kept tossing out? Keg? Was it Keg?
No, he was just messing with you. Kegs of beer. Keg. Keg. I don't even think that's a real stock, is it?
It might be.
No. He was just messing because we're always drinking. He said, "Get more kegs. Get more kegs." No, when I no.
I that last Tuesday called, not this week, but last week. I woke up pretty rough Wednesday morning. I
Are you
think we were.
blaming that on me?
It might be. You're kind of a bad influence. It's that stupid. It's that stupid pirate song you like to play all the time, which I haven't heard
I,
today.
Captain was supposed to play it in the introduction, and then he
I really
didn't.
was, and I didn't.
And we even did spit on our hands handshake meme, and he agreed, and he still didn't do it. So I would play it now. I would blare it, but Ivy's upstairs, and I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, she knows what you're up to. She hears that.
I'm already in the dog. I'm already in the doghouse
Oh,
today.
what is it? What is it? Pull home.
No, it's
That's
heave
it. Ho
ho,
ho.
heave ho. All hands, hoist the colors high. Hoist the colors high. You guys can listen to it on YouTube, but next week I'm not going to come on unless Captain plays the song. Well, I take that back. I'll still come on, but
Now I gotta find that for you. I mean, whenever I play it, though, everyone says my audio never works. Or we'll say that I'll try
all
to
right. Well,
figure
you just
this
let
out.
me know, and then I'll play it. I'll play it on the radio. It's getting a little late now here. It's like almost 10 o'clock at night, and then Ivy will be going to bed, and she'll be upset. I don't want her to get all fired up. Yep. She likes for me to make good choices, and I consistently make bad choices, and that makes her upset.
Well, somebody's got to take care of you.
That's for sure. That's for sure. It's mutual in a way. Well, not really, but no, good times. Anyone else have any stock ticks? Well, let me bring up a couple that I was watching last week, and you guys can think about them. I'm not buying any of this stuff yet. I was just thinking about it. So let me see what I have here. I have Getter, GETR. I was watching that one and I missed it. I was watching that dude at like 13 cents, and then last week it shot up to freaking 30 cents. So that one's now off the list. I'll keep it on my watch list just to see what happens with it. But that was GETR. I still have Wheeler. I'm still looking at Wheeler. Here's one I'm looking at. SOBR, which is Sober Safe Incorporated, and they make like devices for your car for alcohol intoxication. They only have an 18.54 million shares outstanding, so it's kind of a small float. So if something happens, it could be substantial. Where's the other one? I'm looking at VFC, which is the clothing company slash whatever you want to call it. It has like I think it's North Face and things like that. Let me see the companies that are involved with that one. North Face, Timberland, Dickies, Outdoor Apparel Company.
Yeah, that one's on a little bit of an uptrend currently on the
It is.
daily.
I
Looks
bought a
good.
couple shares a while back just to keep an eye on it, and I was on them dudes. I think my first purchase, I bought one share at like 16.40, and another share at 16.60, and I've continued to watch it and see what happens. It pays a dividend. It pays a 9 or 10 cent dividend depending, and It's at 1991 now. So holiday time's coming up. Maybe people are buying that stuff for the holidays. Their sales go up. Quarterly report for Q1 2024 looks good. The stock pumps again. You sell, it drops because outdoor companies sometimes they don't do as well with their more high priced items, puffer coats, gloves, boots, things like that in the
But
spring and summer months.
looks good with that chart is the volume really hasn't ticked up, but the stock price has.
So
So
people are
on
willing to
the
pay more for it. Yeah.
right, the average volume's 9 million, and Friday close was 10.6 million. So not a massive upswing in volume.
And I
Opposite side of my Kroger puts.
No, I forgot all about that.
My Kroger puts did well.
They did
Yeah, I closed those out green.
good, good.
But I think Albertsons did the opposite. I was wondering if anybody grabbed the other side of that. I can't remember who was talking about it. Was that Abe that was talking about Albertsons and Kroger?
I think MDS said what the puts would be a good idea on the one that was doing the buying out, obviously.
Yep.
That's why I need Captain in there.
It's interesting talk. Happens and you screw it up. These are the lessons that we learned. I'm still watching that FNGR. I think that's a good pumper. You guys familiar with that finger? When it goes below 4, that's prime for the pickings. Every time it goes below 4, it pumps back up again. Sometimes you get lucky and get it like 350, 340. But you ride it out for a few days or a couple weeks or whatever like that. And next thing you know, it ends up going to $6, $7. And you're like, what the heck? It's kind of a
Yeah,
crazy pump.
I see a lot of people calling it out over the last few weeks.
It's getting low. I think it's below $4 now. Let me see what some other ones that I watch. WLDS, which is wearable devices. That one looks like it may have made a turn for the better. It had been shorted down crazy. Now it looks like it may be on its way back up. WLDS, 33 cents a share. So if you, $100, you get 300 shares. If it goes to 50 cents, you can turn your $100 into 150.
Been kind of watching Warner Brothers kind of swing up and down. WBD.
Yeah.
Um,
I own that one long, so.
Yeah, I've been on that one. I rode that swing last summer up to about 16 something. And then just kind of looking at a consolidation area here and see what it's going to do. Didn't they have some partnerships with Netflix on selling some of their rights to some of the stuff that they were streaming?
I don't follow it closely. It's been in business for a long time. It's not going to go out of business. It's no. When I see it drop down below $10, I'll buy a few shares. Yeah, that's a long hold for me. It's an investment. They got the Looney Tunes, dude. You can't go wrong with Looney Tunes. They're always going to be pumping out Bugs Bunny and freaking Yosemite Sam. All that shit is always going to sell forever.
You think ACI is going back up? I mean, we're already at 222.85. I think it's got some steam left if you look at the volume in the last day.
What was it? ACI?
ACI Albertsons.
Yeah, it and depending on if this merger is taking place, I mean that they may try to bring that price up to match a little more in the middle before any kind of merger takes place. So yeah, it looks like it's on a nice bull trend, even though it kind of popped up a little bit.
Well, and shareholders got already got like $4 in distribution, right, or something like that, or like $5 in dividend.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember who was talking about that. I know we got on the subject, but somebody brought it up.
Hey
It was
guys,
either MDS or Abe. Go ahead. Someone try to cut in. Go ahead.
No, I just I was gonna say it's I remember investing a charge point at $14-15 and got out of it at around 24 though. And now it's like at around $2. So what the heck happened to that stock? I haven't looked in long.
Imagine when it was at $15 if you had bought long dated puts, like at the money, long dated puts. Oh man.
You still be cashing them dudes in.
Oh, they would have printed. Like that's the thing is like when you see that upward movement, the problem is you really got to look for the IV drop. Once you see the IV crush, that's kind of an all right time, right? Serfdom or no?
Yeah, you want to wait for that IV to cool down because you're gonna pay that in premium, right? So you'll buy that. If that thing's running like 300-400% in IV, the second you buy it, you're already losing money on it, right? And unless you're expecting like massive downtrend, and you're really betting on it, you know. And I won't most things I won't touch it at the implied volatilities at anywhere like 200-300% just because I know that there's a good chance that I won't be able to cash it out. But if it looks real nasty, I'll buy into it a little bit. You know, you got to pay to play a little, and some cases it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But the lower the IV that you can get in on, the better for anything. And it's just like buying something like that's obvious it's going to come down. Like say they got nasty news and filed for bankruptcy. That the If you decide to buy that day, you're going to be buying into that volatility. So having a
Well,
little bit of anticipation kind of helps a little bit.
well, and it's also knowing a graph, right? So I mean, you look at GME, right? GME squoze to 480, but then it settled down, I think, in the high 300s. Is that right, Mark? Or where was it, like 350? There was this point. It's once you reach consolidation, that's when your IV is like kind of at least on the decline, if not non-existent.
Right. Yeah, and I kind of match IV to like MACD and RSI, and just kind of I check to see if the RSI is cool, sitting down by 30. I check the moving volume and see if the volume's kind of cooled down, and then I kind of judge from there. And I find if I take more than 2 to 3 days to make a decision on it, I'm probably out of it again because it usually upticks again. And so it's kind of be able to spot something and wait for it to get to where you want to be, and then grab it in that spot.
But yeah, ACI bucked the trend up last week, so that was good.
Well, to be honest, guys, I'm a little tired from last night's little space that we had with BBIG, so I think I got to cut out early tonight.
No problem, brother. You have a great night. We'll definitely be back on Tuesday.
I'm sorry, I had myself muted and I told a whole story. Um, surf
I
just
didn't know
going.
you had a I didn't know you had a mute button, Mark.
I do, I do. Remember, Kat, when I was talking about that Hub C, that Israeli security, cybersecurity company? Do you remember that, Kat?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
All
do.
right, so they did a 1 for 10 reverse split on Friday, I think. So that's something to keep an eye on. Where was the reverse split? 12-15. They did a 1 for 10 reverse split.
Wow, didn't they jump up to like obscene numbers
Yes,
and then fell right back down?
absolutely. So let's see. When I owned it, when I bought it, it was um, like 18 cents or 20 cents or something like that. And it jumped all the way up to almost $1. And I dumped it all, or I dumped most of it, and I kept a few. And then it came back down again. Then it went all the way back up again to some crazy number. I dumped the rest, and now it's been on its way all the way is less than 10 million. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one. HUBC. I'll be keeping an eye on it to see how bad they short it back down again. But like I said, anyone else has any other tips? Come on up, share them. This isn't
Neo's.
you. This isn't you convincing anyone to buy anything or sell anything. Just come on up and say, "Hey, this is what I've been watching," and we'll all take a look at it and we'll all um, think about it and relive it again on Tuesday and see what happens. That's the
Is
beauty of this is we talk about it and we see what happens, and sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't, but hopefully when we get them good. Go ahead, Cap.
Oh, I was gonna say, is Neo Neo's at like a high point, don't you
It was
think? Or
something MDS wanted us to talk about, so I talked about it. I brought it up.
I mean, I guess God, look at that day though. On December 13th, it had a 9% day,
Yeah.
and now we're riding the top. Now, I mean, that could be mean breakout with the volume, but then again, my volume indicators have been all off lately. So
I don't know, sometimes you just have to watch stuff and see what happens, and then you get a gut feeling about it. And you just either have to act on it or not,
yeah,
and see how it works out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You can say that you were following the VWAP and the RSI and all this other stuff, and then the exact opposite happens. What you think was going to happen, you're like, "Well, I followed all the rules. What the fuck?" And then one day you buy some stupid shit in pre-market, and it freaking goes to the moon. You're like, "God, I didn't follow any of the rules, and I made freaking $900 in an hour and a half. What kind of nonsense is this? It's just nonsense. It is what it is."
dude, that was a glorious part. Someone highlighted it to me in the call. Like, Puzzle actually admitted to being a speculative trader, but she just doesn't hold them for long. She doesn't have a high risk tolerance, so therefore everyone else should not have a high risk tolerance.
Well, so she's gone Miggy Cabs route pre-market, huh?
Right?
Pump them and dump them. Play the pump and dumps. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. They're not my rules. But if you're gonna pump stuff, I'll play the pump and I'll sell it too. And I feel bad for the people that got in at the high. And I mean, they're learning lessons. That's what they are. It sucks. You don't put all your chips on black. That's just not the way that it works. You don't put all your chips on red. That's just not the way that it works. Take a little portion of your chips and you play a pump and dump. If you lose, you lose. If you win, More power to you. You have more time, more money to play on the pump and dump next time. But continue to keep your chips on the regular, the regular black and red. If you lose all your chips on a pump and dump, then you don't have anyone else to blame but yourself. I'm sorry. You don't. It's that simple. It's sad and I feel bad for you, but it is what it is.
Man, how incredible is that we hit the 150 mark this weekend?
That was pretty good. I wasn't honestly. I didn't expect for it to do as well as it did, and it did well. Yeah, I thought we did okay.
Right.
$100 was or $100,000 is a lofty goal. That's a lot of money,
That is a lot of money.
to get
Yeah.
in donations in one day, and for us to get $15,000 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Regardless of whether people think it was a success or a failure, it doesn't matter. We had more than we had on Thursday, and that's
That
all that
is
matters.
true.
That's all that matters. We had
Oh,
more than we had on Thursday.
you know what I like right now? IEP, Icon Enterprises.
IEP. Are you fucking with me, or is this a real stock?
No, this is a real stock. This is a real, yeah, this is a real ass stock.
Oh, Carl Icon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I bought some the other day at 1537. The time I bought the before was about 1631, but I sold at 1986.
Yeah, it's pretty low. You could probably flip it for hold it for $20 or $19-20, and it'll probably make it back up there.
The sick thing is because Icon is getting
And if it doesn't, you're
like
still getting a dividend.
exactly that was my point is that it's a dividend stock and he's currently getting a tax for some reason. No one's really sure why, but the intrinsic value on this company is like offset. There's
It's
a
a it's a
imbalance.
dollar a share dividend.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So for what is that? It's a dollar. So out of 15, that's like God. Why can't I ever do math?
Yeah, four
It's like
dollars a year
yeah. So
per year. You're getting
Jesus.
almost a 25% dividend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get on that dude tomorrow
That's what I'm saying.
at 15.50. Anyone else who could see that, you might want to take a look at that and think about what's going on. That's a good call, Cap.
Yeah.
When did they give their dividend? At 11. So we'll get another one on 12 February.
Yeah, so I mean, I think he's getting attacked, which is hilarious because he's like, now we're still paying a dividend.
Yeah, it was $2
Nope.
6 months ago. The dividend, but it was also $51 a share.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good buy there. Why he's getting crushed? Who knows?
Well, and
We'll
plus
see
it's
what happens.
Icon, you know.
Yeah, I'll take a flyer on that dude for 100 shares.
Dude who hates shorts, I'm with him. Uh-oh.
Yeah, hopefully he hates shorts too. He'll turn his game around because he's probably shorting too. That might be why they're crashing. Maybe they were deep into AMC and GME and all the rest of the shorts. Now they're struggling. I'll have to see what
Dude,
their money situation is.
dude, thank you everybody for reposting the screenshot and to show Mark.
Which one was it?
Oh, Sprink G posted it. I'll post it in the nest. It's pretty dope. Oh, I should post. It's in the comment section. It's already there, so you don't have to go to the nest and screw up your whole screen.
No, I got it squared away now. What was the screenshot? There's the Navy testing their new laser. Rob MC shooting at rainbow.
Oh, is he?
There's a rainbow going from the Navy ship, and he says, "There's the Navy testing their new laser." Yeah, he was in the Marines. That's what the Marines do, is they bash on the Navy. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the rainbow? Yes, I
Yeah,
saw
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did
I know.
everyone see Serfdom's post of when there's a lot going on here? He
Yep.
sent that to me. He sent that to me last night, and he said, "When Mark takes over the space call." Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, no, we had good fun last night though. When all hell was breaking loose, I tried to reel it in. So it's we talked about aliens instead.
And then I don't know what oh yeah, Rick was scolding us, so I fell
Yeah,
asleep.
yeah.
And then Tonks got on the call.
Well, lots of people came on at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, they woke up 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever it was. And then I think I left at 7 o'clock. I had to go. I was up all night, so I had to go get my Jesus on. Then I came home and ate a snack and took a little nap, and then I got back up and got on again. Listen to you guys, which is why I'm going to bed here in a little while. I'm gonna eat me a cookie and go to bed.
I feel that. Yeah, I know. So we're only going to be looking at stocks for just a little bit longer, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to note I'm doing one thing on our YouTube channel. They have shorts now, so I make these little like question trivia cards basically for various like either finance, technical analysis, or microeconomics, economics. There'll be a bunch of different ones. So you can always go to our YouTube channel and check those out. They're kind of cool.
I'll have to check it out a little closer, Captain.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I think you've seen them because I posted them on Twitter as well. There's like the videos. If you check out our page, I think I
No,
put
no.
at
I
least
looked
one.
at the YouTube page. Like when I was in Florida with Ivy, I was listening to our previous call that we had done like a couple nights before that, and she's like, "Mark, you were up all night laughing," and I was just listening to that call, and it was absolutely ridiculous. Oh, that first call was nuts. You should take that dude down.
Dude,
After
I
we get
didn't
like
even.
5 or 6 of them, oh, that thing was off the friggin' chain.
Oh, and I
Oh,
didn't even see it. Jeffrey Burke actually wrote our first comment.
what'd he say?
He said,
He said, "You guys are
first
too
comment.
much."
He just said comment. First comment, letting everyone know. He put the first comment.
Oh, that one was nuts. That first call was nuts. It went on for like 4.5 hours too.
Oh, it did. Yeah,
Yep. I think you started it late. I think you started streaming it late, so I think it was like a 5 hour call.
I think so too. Yeah, you can always find the raw audios on our Twitter page right now for the next 30 days. Oh wait, no, now it's infinite because I've bumped this account all the way up to like pro, I think, so I can talk with Grok.
Did you have to pay to bump that account up?
Yeah, it's like but my main account I just delisted mine. And the thing is, if you're gonna get a blue check mark, always go through desktop because it's like $3 cheaper for some reason, or $6 cheaper
Is that per month or per year?
per month.
Oh, so that's like 30, $40 a year.
Yeah.
I'll probably just stay unverified. That way, then I can claim ignorance.
Yeah. No, and the only thing you really get is like access to Grok, which is kind of cool. I dig the AI. But then you also like you can. So if you don't have a verified account, your spaces only stay hosted for 30 days. But if you do have a verified account, they can last forever. So I'm probably gonna have to do captains, uh, so that we can keep the BBIG spaces, or make the
Forever.
transfer, or make the or make them all into like some other platform. Like I think you can put them on either SoundCloud or something like that.
It's probably best they go away after 11 minutes. LOL.
There's something to be said about that as well.
Yes, of course there is.
We're just filling the void here.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I don't know. Anyone else have any stocks to talk about? You guys can come up. Feel free. We don't bash anybody's stock tips. We always take them into consideration and think about them. Typically, whatever someone just comes off the cuff, I just buy it in the morning anyway, and we'll see what happens. So if you got a slinger, sling it up here, and I'll see what I can do in the morning. I'll wake up early and try and get it in pre-market, and we'll see how it plays out on the day, and we can do like a little experiment. Might buy 1 share, 10 shares. If it's really really cheap, I'll buy a hundo, and then we can watch it for a few days or a day and see how it plays out, and then if it's horrible, we'll just make fun of you and laugh and point and stuff. Well, probably not, but
We can also look at the filings. I mean, just because MDS isn't here, it doesn't mean we can't look at the filings and then suss out
he's
what's
the only
going
one who
on
knows
there.
how to read, though. Like you and I can look at them, but we're not really reading
It's
them.
true. It's true. Neo actually interests me because he doesn't give recommendations.
Yeah, why would he put that out there?
It's true, but it's running. I mean, you want to watch it then for that dip. God, I'm so hurt on big after calling that and then not making not making anything. I'm losing on that trade. I'm bitter.
I I was buying those at $3.90 some.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, that was a good call, dude. That was and I still made money on it. I just didn't make as much. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just like, man, that dude ran
No,
out. No, it's
I'm mad at
awesome.
myself for calling a banger for a bagger, calling out a official bagger,
Yeah, and then you didn't buy it.
and not making any money on it.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I know. What is wrong with me?
And when you look back, like on the year, it was all the way up to $19.
Yeah.
It's
No, I mean,
it's
if it
it's
gets back
52
to
week high is 1997.
if we get back to 370 on that, that's a good price, especially on big lots. We're going into the final quarter. Like, so if it gets out,
I
you
think
know,
you had me buying that thing 2 days in a row too. I'll have to go look and check my P&L, but let me see. That was a good one. Go back. Cancel. I'm not even logged in.
wait a minute, Neo's not an American company.
No,
Is
it's
it?
Chinese.
Damn, I don't mess with Chinese stocks.
I don't like it either.
They're almost as crooked as this, New York stock market, but I have legal protection here.
All right. So big. The first time you called it out was the 9th, November 9th. You probably called it out the 8th, and I bought it the next day. And it looks like I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 purchases on the 9th.
Jesus.
And then bought again on the 13th, the 14th. So my average was
Jesus, that is like a
377, and I sold at 458 on the 15th, I think. And then I bought them again on the 17th at 465 or 466, and then sold on 12/4 for 650.
Jesus.
So
And that
imagine,
was after
Captain,
the height. That was the height. That was a good call. That's actually a really good exit.
imagine if you would have just stuck to your guns.
Oh
Instead, you
God,
just made me money,
I know. Instead, I
and then,
made you a
and
good
then I
gig.
sent it to you in the mail in gifts.
Look at that chart, though. I mean, really. I mean, up until like even up until like the 11th, your trade was a good, like pretty much, like played it 100% correct, and of course, then it goes higher, right? But
No, and that's fine. I mean, it is. I don't have any problem. And lots of people are like, "Oh, you could have kept it, and made more money." Like, well, if you sell shares and you have a profit, then you have that money the next day. You can always buy some more the next day, and if it
but I,
continues to go up, it continues to go up. But
but
you at
I'm
least
still
had your exit point.
well, and that's what I'm saying is you like looking at the chart, like you pretty much played that like very well for that chart, like looking knowing what you'd see at that chart at that time, because you
There's
had just had 2 days of green where and then on that next day that's where you offloaded the rest, and I could totally see it. Plus you had decreasing volume, but then that makes me also think of Neo, right? Because we're looking at Neo with the decreasing volume, but a price point that's kind of like this chart, right? So you might have a day or two of indecision, but what maybe MDS is onto something here.
Well, Neo is in the last year. It's on its ride down from 15. So it was at like, let's say it was at like $10, went up to like 11, went all the way down to like 7, rode all the way back up to 15.50 ish, and then now it's sitting back down at about $8 a share. If you go back on the 3 month, I mean, there are many peaks and valleys where you can play it for $1 a share. So, but $1 a share on $8 is what, 12%. So if you're willing to gamble with 12% at $8 a share, that's something to think about. In the last month, I mean, you could have bought it at $7.12. You could be selling it tomorrow morning at $7.98. So, I mean, you might be onto something. I don't know.
Well, and if you look back to the last before the last pump, $7 is a strong support. It's appearing, currently.
He had,
That
he
can
had
always
family. He
change.
had family in town, so he couldn't come on tonight. But he told me to bring it up.
Let's look at the fun stats on Neo.
For anyone that's following along at home, it's N November India October Neo.
Just in case you couldn't. There's a Neo though, right? An NEO.
Yeah, he's talking about NIO, I think. Let me double check my messages, make sure that I'm talking about the right one.
Well, Neo is Neo Geometrics, so or Geonomics. I think I think we're good.
No, he's talking about NIO, Neo. They had a big weekend with a test drive that went 1,000 kilometers in adverse weather conditions, and that's the EV company. So 1,000 miles on a one charge. That might
Oh,
be it
really?
there. That's what it said. That's what he told me. I didn't see that, but
1,000 miles on one charge is.
in adverse conditions. So
That's what Tesla's trying to get to, right? Neo's been around though for a while. It's been like a EV, like it not it girl for a while, right?
my
I'm
problem
pretty
is I
sure.
got that freaking too much money tied up in Sea-Doo and Alt. I wish that
Oh,
GNS. I wish that GNS would just pump and get it over with, so I can get out of that.
oh my God, right? Or give me enough to where I can just keep my free shares that I've been waiting for patiently for a while.
I told you how I bought that, and I thought it was like a real estate stock, right?
Well, you
How I
did get
thought
a
they had
real
like how.
estate gig. You
Well,
did. We can't prove that we even own it or anything, but supposedly brokers have.
I told you how. Then you told me it was an education thing. I'm like, fuck. And I told you how many shares I had, right? I don't even want to share it again. And I bought more after that too, because I got to get out of this freaking dude. Yeah, no,
It had a good day on Friday. It was actually a late runner of the whole like bull run of the Santa rally of last week.
yeah, I'm only down $1,300 on it. If it runs a little bit more tomorrow, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm in the same boat. I think I'm down to like 83 cents average cost on it, and I'm just like, oh man, let's just go already. Let's have our
Well, you
fun.
got me beat because I'm at 84.4.
All right, no, I don't think I do. Let me see what it actually is because I was talking out of my ass. For the meme stock portfolio, God, MCOM. It's at 74 cents. I'm at
I
87.72.
cut my loss on that, dude.
It's at 74 cents though.
Yeah, remember when I told you I was gonna dump it? You you talked to me about it, and I bought a couple at a dollar or whatever it was. I dumped those dudes like 3 days later. I'm like, what the fuck is this? That's funny. That's funny.
Dude, my thing
I only
is
bought it
like
because we were talking about it. That's all.
I actually think long term Roger is actually trying to do the right thing here. I could be wrong. He could be a total
Mitchery.
overpaid executive.
That's my
Exactly, a
that's my new
Mitchery.
that's my new term for someone who's a scammer. I just say, dude, you're a Mitchery, man. I'm
That
sorry
dude,
if anyone.
he's a
I'm sorry if
Mitchery
anyone.
Patella.
Yeah, I'm sorry if anyone has Mullen or whatever. I have Mullen too, and I believe that they had like something going there, but that dude is just something else, man. I'm counting on his fraudulency and his despicableness being so awesome that we'll be able to make some money off of it. That's what I'm counting on, and
God, I
and
hope
my
so.
average isn't too high. I mean, my average now is like I don't know, 57 cents. So, but. Uh, Apparently they had a vote on Friday. I voted no on everything because I can't trust that dude. And apparently they had a no vote on Mullen on Friday, and the shareholders voted no on the reverse split, and it actually went through. So then they conceded the meeting. They're going to have another meeting allegedly tomorrow morning, 9 your time. So that'd be 9, 10. So
To do
12.
a what? To do a what? A 1 for 9 reverse
I,
split? Like,
who knows? Who knows? Who knows? If they were smart, the first time they did a reverse split, they would have just done a 1 for 100, and then they would have started the buyback. That would have been a serious hamstring to people that were trying to short it. So if they did a 1 to 100, right, it went to like say $6 a share or $5 a share or something like that, and had they immediately initiated the buyback, they could have offset any immediate shorting that was going on. And then there kind of would have been a stalemate for a few days, and maybe it would have equalized out. But
All I'm saying is that I have 2 shares at an average cost of $149.92.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Of Mullen?
Yeah, it's because it's been like my basically I made some good tendies on Mullen,
Before, yeah. Yeah.
and then I put a little bit back in, but then I've just held it and not put any more into that position because I kind of lost interest. Um,
I had bought it and
but
sold
I've
it
held
before
them.
too, but completely dumped everything because that dude is a scammer, and now I'm on to the scammers, you know? So I was, but now I have 11,000 shares still. So we'll see what happens.
The
I thought
funny
it,
thing is,
I thought it
the
was an
funny thing,
easy buy at like 30 cents. You know, I thought, well, they'll shoot it back up to 60 cents. I'll make 100%. I can dump them. No.
well, and the funny thing is that they started right, so like it almost gets to a point where reverse split when they make you whole on the fractional, they'll get you to a point where actually the reverse splits start to make you return back because they're giving you a whole share for like your one fractional of the 1/9. And that's the only time you make money is when they've ground out every dollar to the point that they're
Yeah, you're
reverse
like, now
splitting
I have
it you giving
101
you
shares. Now I have
yeah.
21 shares or whatever it is. Okay. And I lowered my average cost by 20x. But no, I don't know what to think of that. I'm going to stand with what I got. I'm not going to put any more money into that company. Yeah. We'll see if it comes. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And I'm assuming my Troika now is garbage. Yep, my 1,550 shares of Troika at $2, $3 grand. That's down the fucking drain. It's worth $159 now or something. And I think it's important that we talk about the mistakes we make because this is how it works. The funny thing is I could have sold that Troika for a profit a long time ago. And I didn't. I sat on it and I bought more because I was convinced that they were going to have like a buyout or whatever. And then it turns out the CEO is banging the fucking CFO lady. They're in some kind of relationship together. And then they printed that story, and then the whole thing shit the bed, and it dropped from like $2 to like $1. And then it continued the downward spiral since then. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it doesn't get much more dramatic than that. I hope she was hot because they blew that company up. I hope she was hot and she had hand grenades in that pussy and he had a giant dick because they blew that fucking company up. That CEO and the CFO that were cohorting together. Yep. That better been some good pussy or some good dick for them too because they destroyed that company. I'm sure people who are in Troika know what I'm talking about. So,
Damn, I hope so. Oh
yep.
no, my stream is